trigger a man into murdering his wife and 4 children? Was it planned murder? Or was it simply money problems, marital issues, and constant nagging, like Michael Jones told investigators during interrogation? Jones wasn't reported to have any mental issues. So what made this man decide to end it all and his own children and 2 other children that came from a previous marriage? Michael complained to the investigators that there was constant nagging, poking and prodding by his wife. He said she would bombard him with texts, calling him a terrible person who couldn't do anything right. He said it was just building up and building up until he could no longer take it anymore. Provocation. He said his wife was verbally abusive, then described the time he was trying to sleep and she wouldn't let him. He said, "I'm lying on the floor on my bed and she got her phone with her flashlight in my face, like right in my face, and it just wouldn't stop. Building up. Before I knew it, it was too much." So on the day of the murder, his wife accused him of cheating and asked for the 2 out of 4 children who aren't his to stay with their biological father, while their 2 kids stay with her mother. And he agreed. Michael claimed that his wife attacked him with a baseball bat and he took it from her and repeatedly struck her with it until she died. Then he went on to murder all 4 children by drowning 2 stepkids separately in a bathtub, and then strangled the other 2 who are his own biological children. So the bodies of the 4 children aged 1 to 10 were found the following day buried along a wooded stretch. When asked why he killed the children, Michael just told the detectives, "I don't know. Just everything mounted up and it seemed like the only way out." I mean, I can understand couples having marital issues. I can understand provocation. It can get to the worst. But I don't understand why this man took a step further into killing 4 children. Now, there's a difference whereby you stop along the way when you are provoked. Maybe after hitting his wife, he must have come to his senses and said, "Enough. I think I've had enough. I think I've gotten that adrenaline out of my system." But Michael did not stop. He went on to run a bathtub, because these things take process. He ran a bathtub and then he put the first child in there until the child stopped kicking. And when he was sure that the child was dead, he took that one out, went and brought another one and did the same. And after that, he went on to strangle the other children as well. Do you see what's going on here? This is not just some random provocation. This man was out to end it all. I mean, he has been thinking about it, he has been planning it, and he figured that there was no going back. What kind of anger would lead a man into such detailed steps on how to eliminate his family? But when there are children involved, it changes the whole situation. The Marion County Sheriff Office said that it is believed that Michael killed his family in Florida weeks ago and stored their bodies until he drove them into South Georgia. Now, when the police arrived at the scene where Michael crashed, now remember, after he had killed them, he left them in the house for weeks and then decided to put them in a van to drive across town, right? So on his way there, he had an accident. So when the police arrived at the area where he had the accident, they started smelling something funny coming from the van. And at this point, Michael stated to the police that you may want to put me in handcuffs because there was a dead body inside the vehicle. So Michael Jones' ex-wife told the media that Michael Jones claimed he and his wife were getting a divorce. Now remember, Michael was once married, right? He had a previous marriage, and this is his ex-wife telling the police that he and his wife were getting a divorce. So Michael told detectives that he had a clear mind when he killed his family. I mean, he had no remorse. He did not care. He didn't feel guilty for anything. He felt he did not want anyone to make up a case that he was insane, that he was going through any traumatic experience. He wanted to say it out there that he had a clear mind, as in, look, I knew exactly what I was doing. So when detectives asked him if he had anything to relate to his family, he said, sorry. And Florida has the death penalty, so that's good. Meaning he is ready to die. It doesn't matter what he did. He's not apologetic. He's not sorry. He didn't feel like, oh my God, I'm such a terrible person. He just said, sorry. Right? So the case went to trial, and just this week, a jury recommended the death penalty for Michael Jones, who brutally beat his wife Casey Jones to death with a metal baseball bat before strangling his 9-year-old and 4-year-old stepsons to death, and then drowning his 2-year-old and 11-month-old biological daughters. Michael pleaded guilty in December to 4 counts of first-degree murder in the children's death and 1 count of second-degree murder in Casey, his wife's death. The jury unanimously recommended death on all 4 counts of first-degree murder. Now, in Florida, defendants convicted of first-degree murder can be put to death if the jury recommends such as an outcome, while the maximum penalty for second-degree murder is life in prison. So whichever way you look at it, there's no coming out for Michael. He's done, and he knows it, and that's why he said he knows there's a death penalty for what he did. So either way, he is going to die. The decision will ultimately be left up to 5th Judicial Circuit Court Judge Anthony M. Tati, who has not yet scheduled a date for Jones' sentencing hearing, according to the online docket. The consequences of murder should always be death, especially when the killer shows no remorse. We understand that his wife provoked him, but what about the children? What did they do to him? What about his stepchildren? Why couldn't he just end himself instead to get away from all the troubles instead of killing everyone? Why didn't he leave the house? Why didn't he call for help? Leave the family? Agree to the divorce like his wife recommended? Why did he have to kill innocent children? And of course, a woman who wanted out of the marriage. Anyway, that's all for today, guys. Catch me soon with another interesting story. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for always watching, and have yourself a good day.